Bloodborne, a world of dark creatures and infected minds, is a dangerous place for anyone to tread. None are more deadly though than the boss creatures. Whether it be the large beasts, crazed maniacs, or a great one, these foes are bound to cause players pain. With this series I will be going over each of the bosses in order to help fellow hunters bring them down. In this episode we're going to take a look at the enormous creatures players are more likely to stumble on first, the Cleric Beast. This beast is a huge disfigured creature with horns. Its haunting cries can be heard in the early parts of the game as the hunter makes their way through central Yharnam. There are hints that the Cleric Beast is a former member of the Healing Church. Whether it was the first member of the Healing Church who brought the corrupted blood back to Yharnam, or someone else, is unclear. There is also some speculations that the Cleric Beast is in fact the Hunter Chief of the Healing Church, as the item dropped by the beast allows players to purchase the Hunter Chief emblem. Despite its size, the Cleric Beast is agile and has superhuman strength. You will find the Cleric Beast on the Great Bridge in central Yharnam. The Cleric Beast is armed with a variety of attacks, most of which hit directly in front of the beast. With this in mind, a hunter should strive to get around the creature's back, with the focus on hitting the beast's thighs. A frontal attack is ill-advised, as you will be constantly pummeled or grabbed and eventually killed. So keep your distance and wait for a chance to attack. Once the beast has made his move, take that chance to dodge into position near his back. When in position, the beast will continue to try to attack you with side attacks, but these can be dodged. Even if one of these side attacks connect, they don't hit for a lot. Close up to him, you can start wailing on his legs with your weapon of choice. Thrust weapons or fire-based attacks are better here, as the Cleric Beast is strong against blunt, arcane and bolt attacks. After a set amount of damage to a set limb, the Cleric Beast will eventually stagger, leaving him open for a short period. However, he will not be able to be staggered again on that damaged limb until he has healed himself. Yes, the Cleric Beast can heal himself, but it's not in terms of health. Basically, when a limb has taken enough damage and made the beast stagger, that limb will be all bloodied, and thus he'll want to heal that limb up. You can tell he's healing by a red aura being all around him. The heal animation for the Cleric Beast is fairly long, so continue your assault as he's roaring. This heal also gives him a short enraged state, so be careful around him. If one of his limbs is damaged, you can always switch to the other to continue your assault. I would advise also using free camera for this fight, and do not lock on. Once the Cleric Beast has healed himself, he will regain his composure, and the limbs that were damaged will now be healed. This means you can now attack them again to stagger him once more. Once he reaches around 30%, he will go into a constant enraged state. Like I mentioned before, he can be tricky when he's like this. When he's enraged, he gains a close range flourish of attacks that can be dangerous. So with this in mind, for the last 30%, try to bait his attacks before moving into close range. Or, as the Cleric Beast is weak to fire, get some range between you and him and unleash some oil urns and Molotov cocktails. Another tactic to use on the Cleric Beast is that he can be staggered with gunfire for a visceral attack. Also, he can only be visceral attacked once until he's healed. You also have to be careful when going into ranged positions, especially with the jumping attack the Cleric Beast can perform. An interesting aspect with the Cleric Beast is that you can summon Father Gascoigne, provided you haven't killed him already, or Alfred of the Executioners, provided you've talked to him and agreed to his request for help. These NPCs can be summoned in two locations, either left of the central Yharnam lantern near a torch-wielding enemy. The second summoning spot is near the first brick troll, near the fountain, but be aware the troll needs to be alive in order to summon. Just look for the note that says ring the beckoning bell if you require assistance. Both these NPCs are very aggressive and will more than likely keep the Cleric Beast's attention on them for a while. All you need to be able to summon them is the beckoning bell and one insight. Your rewards for defeating the Cleric Beast are Blood Echoes, the Sword Hunter badge that enables you to purchase the Kirk Hammer and repeating pistol. It also unlocks the Bold Hunter's Mark and the Hunter Chief emblem for purchase. You also gain 1 insight for finding the boss and 3 for killing it. Overall, the Cleric Beast is an amazing looking boss, but despite its appearance, it's not too difficult, even for beginners. Just remember to get close to it and attack its legs when you can. Watch out for the side swipe attacks, but don't worry too much if you do get hit. Once you hit around 30%, back off and use Molotovs if you have them, and watch out for its long distance attacks. Even if you don't have Molotovs, you can still take him down at close range, but be aware his close range attacks will be more dangerous. One last tip is that if you do have fire paper, this works really well on this boss too. Despite all this, the Cleric Beast is an optional boss, and you can skip him if you're having trouble. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my Bloodborne Boss Guide to the Cleric Beast. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.